Everyone, hope everyone is doing well. This is going to be my YouTube tutorial on fingerpicking. I've had students in the past ask me how do I approach fingerpicking. It's something I usually don't do very often in my live performance, but slowly every year I keep on practicing and trying to get better and try to understand some of the country blues, Piedmont blues players, and be able to, at least for my own enjoyment, get better at it. So the tough thing about any sort of finger picking is that the pieces, the tunes, are usually related to vocal songs. So listening to like Blind Boy Fuller, you will find that the motifs are really kind of hinged with the vocals. And so if you're not a singer, and I am not a singer, I'm a horrible one, I try to figure out different approaches where I could be able to create melody and fingerpick a 12-bar blues that is at least interesting instrumentally. And I want to share a few of those strategies with you. So we'll start from the very beginning. We'll be playing in the key of E, and I'll be starting with an open E chord. So a mainstay of solo country blues guitar playing is being able to sustain the bass through the whole song, and to be able it helps fill out the space, adds some rhythmic punctuation, and also supports the melody that you'll be playing with your free fingers. So I use the cage formations, and what this will do for me is allow different shapes of the E to be able to be utilized up the guitar neck, and I'll be able to create melody with different registers. So step one is we're going to be just using an E and an octave, and this stays constant the whole time. Nothing ever wavers on the bass. Now, it's usually bass note octave. It could be the bass note, the key center, the third, key center, the fifth, but it's always on the quarter note, at least for today. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4. And so we get used to going 1, 2, and then the melody will happen on the top string. So let's just take these two fingers and hit the chord. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, with the pinky, we're able to, and the idea that we play an open E chord, we have open notes to be able to create different sort of lines that we would like. And it goes over and over. Now, if you notice, if I just play the same pattern over and over again, it does get to be a little monotonous. One characteristic that I've observed in country blues guitar is that, or Piedmont playing, is that the picking patterns are usually 2 measures long. And what this does is create kind of a natural or intrinsic call and response. Example being if I go 1, 2, 3. Now that sounds a lot more complex, but all I'm doing is taking 2 1-measure patterns and plugging them together. So I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Do that again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm just taking my pinky and landing that on the second string, 2nd fret, the major 6. Now, then on the next measure, I can go 1 and 2 and 3, 4. And I'm just hitting the open E, 2 to 4. So I go. And so by having those two measures be connected, those two different picking patterns, it sounds very cool and very, exciting. Now, there's also the limitation. I can't get any further than my first frets, and my pinky can't stretch super far to get further up. But I can change the chord formation. If I use an E7 formation, something we've used before, index has got to be on the root, the bird finger's got to be on the second string, the flat 7, the ring finger's got to be on the 5th, 4th fret 3rd string, pinky's got to be on the 3rd, 1st string 4th fret. We can be able to get that major 3rd to kind of ring, which is going to be really kind of cool. I can go. Now I'm still hitting root, right? So I can go. Or again. And so now I have a lot more opportunity for my one chord. Now when it comes to the next chord, the A, I do have the open A at my disposal. And so that picking pattern will change. 5th string rooted picking patterns, I usually go 5-4, 6-4. And what I'm doing here is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Two measure pattern working for the A, and that'll get me back to the E. Now the B is going to be the upper partial of an A structure B chord. Now I don't have a B note, but I'm only there for one measure. And when I combine the two measures together, it sounds like it's connected. So one measure of the 5, one measure of the 4. So I'll hit. There we go. And so right there, you're going to have probably a dozen different choruses of different variants that will sound exciting and playing in the key of E. Now, we used the A structure for the 4 chord, and we also used this extension 7th for the 1 chord. We can be able to use the C formation, which will put the root and the 3rd together. So imagine this. Kind of gets you a Mississippi John Hurt, very major, very happy sound. And I also have that A structure E up from to use. So if I wanted to, I can go. All sorts of fun ideas that could happen. And I could utilize that for the 4 chord. 5 chord gets to be a little bit more tricky, but you could, because all you need is the key center on the bottom to kind of provide like an atonal thump, kind of like what Mance Lipscomb would do. So if I add on to what we had, taking the C structure E, I can start here. you guys enjoyed. Take care and stay safe.